Hi everyone, welcome to another week of questioning, confusion, and before we get started, I wanted to just do two little plugs real quick. So this is coming out Monday, January 28th of 2019, and on Thursday, my lovely friend Susie Jewell, who was, I believe, on episode 2 or 3, she is going to be performing at the Ordway in St. Paul. She's doing a concert with a bunch of other people of color, so you should go check that out if you are available Thursday night. Unfortunately, I won't be able to be there, but it would be great to show these wonderful performers your support if you're able to. And I also wanted to mention that next month, February 15th, if you are in the Minneapolis area, my show, Sense and Sensibility, is opening at Lyric Arts, and it would be lovely to see anyone who is in the area. The cast is wonderful, the show is so good, and I am really excited to present it. It is the first play that I have done since high school, so it's really exciting to be in kind of a different atmosphere. It's really different. A lot of you singers out there watching this probably know how much music talk goes on in opera rehearsals, and it's kind of interesting being in a rehearsal space where, you know, we're not talking about arias or Mozart or, I don't know, all of that opera stuff. It's a different environment, and it's really fun to be in that environment. So come check us out. We run through mid-March. So kind of to segue into what I wanted to talk about today, I guess like a week ago, I did kind of a Instagram call out for like topics that people wanted to talk about. You know, I'm here for you guys in a sense that I'm being a voice of questioning and wanting to talk about industry things that maybe aren't quite talked about. And of course, I'm not here to give anyone advice. I'm here to share what I've experienced and what I know from how I've worked. But I want this to be a place where we can give each other advice and that we can talk about things that maybe are not talked about enough, in my opinion. So that being said, I'm gonna talk a little bit about, again, my experience and maybe some advice that I have, but this is not in any way me saying that I know best and that I know what should be done, and I want a conversation to build off of it. So if you don't agree with what I say, talk to me about it and tell me why you don't agree, and tell me what you prefer and what you would do in the situation, and we can kind of go from there, and we can create a conversation out of things that typically aren't talked about. So that being said, a friend of mine, Gabriella, who is in Sense and Sensibility with me, she kind of recommended talking about rules and rule breaking, and when we should break rules and when we feel like we should listen to the rules in an audition setting. And I love this question because about a year ago, I was working with Fargo Moorhead Opera. Shout out, they're a great company. Highly recommend any young artist to work for them. And I was rooming with this girl, Kelly Gliptis, who has become one of my greatest, dearest friends since we lived together for like 3 months. Hey Kelly, hope you're watching this. And we were actually talking about this, and I was talking to her about German arias. At the time, I didn't think that I was ready to sing any Strauss, which is a lot of what kind of mezzos sing. If you're not singing the composer's aria or Wie du warst, it's like, what aria are you singing? So I was kind of talking about like how when I bring German arias to auditions, I feel dumb because I was doing one from like a small opera. It was cute, but like no one wanted to hear it, which is fine. But I was talking to Kelly about it, and she was kind of like, I just bring in what I sing best. And I was like, but like all these requirements on like Yap Tracker and all these things. And she was like, yeah, I bring in what I sing best because I want to show myself off. And I was like, hold up. That's amazing. So lo and behold, I've started doing that, and I I love the pieces that I sing in my audition, and I feel like that radiates off of me when I'm singing. And I've started giving people, when people ask me like, what should I sing for this audition, I have started asking them, well, what do you love to sing? And I genuinely believe, and I'm not a casting director, I don't know, but I genuinely believe that if you love what you're singing, they're gonna feel that and they're gonna see that. My belief is that as long as you are kind of within the guidelines of, you know, what the show is, you know, maybe don't whip out an aria if you're auditioning for like Rent, and maybe don't do Defying Gravity if you're auditioning for Minnesota Opera. You know, just, you know, within these confines, I think that you should genuinely sing what you love. And because I do believe that that love for performing radiates off of you, and then that makes directors, that's when directors are like, I want to see more of this person, one, and two, I want to see how they use their skills to transform into another character. So I'm going to call them back to read for X, Y, and Z. That's what I think. Tell me what you think. That's kind of how I have started to view auditions. And since I go on so many of them, I actually enjoy going on them now, because I'm like, yes, I get to sing the song that I love and that I like, that I sing the hell out of, and that like I want to present to people, instead of being like, oh great, they chose this song that like I don't really love, but I have to have a 1950s American aria on my list, you know? That's just my view. I've never been penalized for maybe not having maybe a required piece on there. So that's, again, from my experience. I also think that you should stay within time constraints. I don't think it's fair to other actors or to the time of the people that are sitting across the desk if you sing, you know, if they ask for 16 bars and you do 30. I don't think that's fair. So I do think that, you know, that's maybe a rule that should be followed. Again, tell me what you think. Now I want to talk about clothing, because I have things to say about that. So clothing, when it comes to auditioning, I know there was this whole thing with like opera singers for a while, and it was like women shouldn't wear dresses that go above the knees or something like that. Like people were like hashtagging like bare knees or something like that. I think that you should be able to wear something, again, that you feel good in. I think that audition should be about the actor in a way. We should feel like we're presenting our best work. And if we're scrambling to find a monologue just for one audition, unless they have something for you, like sides for you to look at, I just don't think that's showing your best work. You want to show something that you are proud of showing. So I also think that can apply to what you wear. We got to think of like context here too. So like, I don't think that you should wear something super skimpy. That's just me. I'm not gonna dress like a Victorian era widow. I don't like going super casual. While I started to go to musical theater and theater auditions, I see a lot of jeans and like combat boots, and like, I have nothing against that. That's just maybe not something I would wear unless I'm maybe going for like a rock part, which I never would because I don't have that kind of a voice. So I guess that's beside the point. I do try to look a little like an elevated version of like what I would wear. So I kind of have like one or two dresses that I kind of wear to any audition, and I have like a cute pair of like slacks for when I'm like auditioning for like trouser rolls, or a lot of my opera auditions, since I do a lot of pants rolls for that. So there's a respect and a disrespect that maybe go into rules becoming guidelines. I definitely think that if, you know, a requirement says like, please do not sing anything from the show, maybe don't sing anything from the show, just because it's, you know, a matter of respect. Again, timelines, it's a matter of respect. However, when it comes to what you want to present something that you're happy with, that gives you joy. wear something that you feel comfortable in, that you can feel like, you know, if they say dress for movement, dress for movement. But if you want to, you know, if you're just going to sing and do a monologue, if you want to like wear maybe a nicer dress, maybe not a gown, but a nicer dress, wear that. If that's what makes you feel like you're going to an audition and you feel like your best self. If your best self is like a pair of nice jeans and a nice blouse, wear that. I think actors maybe look too much into, you know, how is the director going to see me? I need to look like X, Y, or Z, or like what should I, you know? And I think that it should be, I think you should flip that. I think it should be, what do I feel comfortable in? What do I want to present? Because you want to present your best self. You want them to want to see more of you. So these are my thoughts. That was kind of a lot. But these are my thoughts, and I would love to hear yours. What have you had success in? Do you have like a lucky, you know, pair of pants that you wear to every audition? Do you have like lucky earrings? Are you superstitious at all? I don't know. I kind of am. Have you been reprimanded for breaking any rules, and what has that done for you? Are you now a lot more strict with that? So I want to know all these things. I want to have a conversation about this. Again, I don't think that enough conversations are being had, so let's talk about it. Great, thanks for joining me today, and have a good week.